The cafeteria buzzed with the low hum of soldiers swapping stories, laughter clashing with the metallic clatter of trays. The air smelled of burnt coffee, sweat, and old steel, the perfume of every base before sunrise. At the far end of the hall, a young woman stood in line. Her uniform was plain, her insignia hidden under the rolled sleeve of her jacket. She carried herself differently. Not nervous, not proud, just composed. Every move she made was deliberate, quiet, measured. Private Carter noticed her first. "Hey," he muttered to his squad, a crooked grin on his face. "New recruit. Look at her, standing like she owns the place." Private Dixon laughed. "Give it a week. She'll be scrubbing dishes like the rest." They watched as she picked up her tray and moved past them, taking a seat at an empty table in the corner. She didn't glance around, didn't try to fit in, just ate in silence. Eyes steady, posture straight. It was the kind of silence that made people uncomfortable. Carter leaned back in his chair, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. "You lost, rookie. Officer's mess is 2 buildings down." A few heads turned. The woman didn't. She kept eating, slow and calm, as if their words never existed. Dixon chuckled, tipping his chair onto 2 legs. "Guess she's too good for us, huh?" Then with a smirk, he stretched his boot across the aisle. Right in her path. When she stood up to leave, her foot caught the edge. The tray slipped. Coffee splashed. The sound of metal hitting tile silenced the room. Every soldier turned. For a heartbeat, no one moved. The coffee dripped from the table's edge, pooling on the floor. Dixon's grin faltered when she looked at him. Not angry, not humiliated, just steady. The kind of look that doesn't need words to command attention. He tried to laugh it off. "Relax." It was a joke. "No harm done," she didn't answer. She just brushed off her jacket, and for the first time, the sleeve rolled back. The silver glint of an admiral's pin caught the light. The silence broke like glass. Carter's face went pale. Dixon's smirk vanished. Around the hall, soldiers straightened in their seats without thinking. The woman slowly picked up the fallen tray and placed it neatly on the counter. Then she turned, her voice even, almost quiet. "Respect," she said, "isn't something you give when you're told. It's something you show when no one's watching." Then she walked out. No one dared breathe until the door closed behind her. By noon, the base was whispering, "The new girl? She's the Admiral? She transferred from Fleet Command last week. Those idiots messed with her?" By evening, her name was all anyone talked about. The next morning, roll call was held outside Command Hall. The 3 soldiers stood at the front, boots together, eyes forward. The sound of the door opening froze them in place. She stepped out. Not in plain fatigues this time, but in full uniform. Medals lined her chest, the Admiral's insignia bright against the morning light. Every soldier snapped to attention. "Private Dixon," she said, scanning the clipboard in her hand. Her voice was controlled, not raised, but the kind that could make a room hold its breath. "You believe strength is in laughter in the crowd that cheers you on. It isn't." Her eyes lifted to meet his. "Real strength is quiet. It doesn't trip people to prove it's standing tall." Dixon swallowed hard. "Ma'am, She raised a hand. "No excuses, you'll serve under me from now on. Maybe you'll learn what leadership looks like when it doesn't need noise." No one spoke. The wind shifted through the flags above the courtyard. For the first time, Dixon understood what fear felt like when mixed with respect. Weeks passed. Training was harder, discipline sharper. The base felt different, cleaner, more focused. And the 3 soldiers who once mocked a stranger now led drills with a sense of quiet purpose. One night, long after lights out, Carter and Dixon found her standing by the observation deck, watching floodlights sweep over the field. Carter held something in his hand, a fresh mug of coffee. "Ma'am," he said, stepping forward, "this one's hot, and it's for you." She turned, eyes soft but unreadable. Then she took the mug and nodded. "Thank you, Private." Dixon hesitated, then said quietly, "We were out of line. Back then." Her voice was calm. "No, you were just untested. A soldier isn't forged in comfort, only in correction." As they started to leave, she added, "And next time you see someone standing alone, stand with them. That's how leaders are built." They saluted, not out of fear, but out of something they hadn't felt in a while. Pride. At dawn, the mess hall filled again. The same table in the corner stood empty. No one sat there anymore. Not out of superstition, but respect. Because every soldier on that base remembered the morning they mocked a stranger and learned that real power doesn't shout, doesn't threaten, doesn't need to prove itself. It walks in quietly. And when it's gone, it leaves the room standing taller,